What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Mo Salah contract update video because Salah dropped another bombshell in his interview after the Liverpool Man City game. And how good does it feel this morning to wake up to a 9-point gap at the top of the Premier League table as a Liverpool fan. But we have an extremely difficult week coming up, Newcastle away and Everton away. I predict these two games will be tougher than the Man City and Real Madrid games, because those games were at Anfield and we outplayed and outclassed and out of sorts Real Madrid and an out of form Man City side. But Newcastle and Everton at home would want nothing more than to beat Liverpool. So this is going to be a very tough week. Let me know how are you feeling in the comments below. And Mo Salah has again suggested that this could be his last season at Liverpool in this interview. And he dropped another contract bombshell, and Paris Saint-Germain, according to reports, open talks with Mo Salah on giving him a big contract and signing him as a free agent at the end of this season, which is not an ideal situation. And guys, if you enjoy these Liverpool news updates, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss the latest updates around Liverpool's FC. So the reports in France suggest that PSG has opened talks with Salah over a free transfer at the end of the season, and Salah confirmed in this interview that his contract situation is never far from his mind. He said to Sky Sports in an interview, "Honestly, it's in my head, my contract situation. Until now, this is the last Liverpool-Man City game I will play for Liverpool, so I was just going to enjoy it. The atmosphere was incredible, so I will enjoy every second here. Hopefully we just win the league and we will see what will happen at the end of the season. It's very special, the atmosphere. I don't take it for granted. I'm enjoying every minute here. It feels like home. It's always a special feeling, always scoring at Anfield and winning games. The fans were behind us from the first minute. I'm glad we managed to win the game. We know that Man City are going to come at us." And he said, "Well, we are almost in December and I haven't received any offers yet to stay in the club. And we are getting into very dangerous territory now, because in a month's time, in 31 days time, Salah can negotiate with any foreign club to sign a pre-contract agreement." Report from France is saying that Mo Salah has a good chance of joining Paris Saint-Germain. L'Equipe cites a source claiming that Salah's camp have been in contact with Paris Saint-Germain for a long time, and the implication that interest from PSG goes back several years. It's believed that things are now different because the player has opened the door, and there is a good chance that he will end up at Paris Saint-Germain. Of course, Paris Saint-Germain denied that when they were asked for a response by L'Equipe. But is that a play by Salah to force FSG and the Liverpool owners to give him a new contract? I mean, we have offered Salah a new contract, but either on lower wages that he wants, and I think he wants to sign on 400k weekly wages, and I think Paris Saint-Germain can even offer him 500k weekly wages, but it shouldn't be about the money for Salah. Maybe he wants a 3-year contract and FSG offered him a 2-year contract. We don't really know the details, and until we know the details, I can't really comment whether Salah is too greedy or whether FSG are not opening their wallet enough, their purse strings needs to be loosened. And this publication also claims the same, that it's a tactic from Salah's side to put pressure on Liverpool regarding contract talks. L'Equipe also highlights that PSG have put out similar denials in the past, only to sign the player in question anyway in the end. So the fact that PSG denied that they are talking to Salah doesn't really mean anything, because they won't go public with this, of course. And it may be more financially challenging to sign Salah as a free agent than it would be to lay down a substantial transfer fee on an alternative. For example, Kvicha Kvaratskhelia was linked to Liverpool, but he would cost 100 million pounds, and yes, he would come in with lower wages than Salah, but yeah, 100 million upfront is not ideal. And PSG tried to go the Galactico route, signing Messi, Neymar, Sergio Ramos, Marco Verratti, Angel Di Maria, and most recently Kylian Mbappe, and they all went for off the wage bill of Paris Saint-Germain, either on a free transfer or they sold Paris Saint-Germain sold them, and this cleared off their wage bill considerably, which means that it is feasible to offer Salah a 20 million euro per year salary, which is 16.6 million pounds per year. And of course, this transfer fee could be divided into installments over a long contract. If you want to pay an upfront signing on bonus to Salah of, say, like 40 million pounds, that is more difficult from an accounting standpoint. James Marshman, an English journalist, is reporting that Liverpool are facing a losing battle to keep Mo Salah, because when he starts talking to Paris Saint-Germain, I mean, if I was Salah, I wouldn't go to PSG, honestly. Even if Liverpool offered me a lower salary wage than what I'm earning currently, if they offered me a 2-year contract, it's better to stay at Liverpool for another 2 years and try to win big trophies there, because the French league is not really competitive. You are just cruising in every game in the league, and Salah is not about that. And in the Champions League, Paris Saint-Germain haven't done anything apart from getting to a final, and even that they lost to Bayern Munich. And even with Mbappe, Neymar and Messi up front, PSG couldn't crack the Champions League. Now they are building a young, exciting team, but I don't think they are ready to win the Champions League. They couldn't even be out of the qualification stage. Salah apparently has a good relationship, according to this L'Equipe report, with the PSG president Nasser Al-Khelaifi, and Salah is now actively engaging in discussions over a move to Paris. As a result, he is seen as being closer than ever to leaving Liverpool. You know, who knows what Salah thinks? I think Salah really wants to stay at Liverpool, and this is just a tactic from him to put further pressure on Liverpool to offer him a new contract. And I mean, there will be absolutely riots and pandemonium if Liverpool let Salah go on a free transfer, because he is an icon, he's a legend, he's the best player in the world, the best player in the Premier League, the best player Liverpool have, our top goal scorer for the past 7 seasons. And in this 8th season, Salah is on course to be the top goal scorer again. So I don't see a scenario where Liverpool can afford to let Salah go on a free transfer without having major repercussions from the fans, from a PR standpoint, and also how do we challenge for the Premier League title next season without Salah? That will be extremely difficult. He would leave a giant, enormous hole in the Liverpool team. But there are people, for example, Paul Merson, who is a football pundit on Sky Sports, he said that Liverpool shouldn't offer Mo Salah a new contract, but he said it's criminal that Liverpool have allowed Van Dijk, Trent and Salah's deal to run down. And I agree with the second part. I don't necessarily agree with Paul Merson. You know my opinion. I think Liverpool should offer Salah 400k per week contract, 2 years, with an option for a third. So if Salah does well in his first 2 years, have the option to extend his contract by another year. And as I said, if Salah declines, you can still sell him to Saudi Arabia at any point. And Paul Merson said it's up to Salah if he wants to speak out. It's his career. I think he has earned the right to. He has come out and said what he said. That's up to him. Yes, there's timing and he's dictating enough. He's playing well enough. His numbers are right up there. They have been ridiculous. But sooner or later, he will be the one getting the stick. People will be turning around going, why hasn't he signed yet? Why has he not signed? And he said he hasn't been offered a contract. Personally, I wouldn't give Salah a new contract, Paul Merson said. I wouldn't give it to him. I'm sorry. I wouldn't give him a 2-year contract on a 300 or 400 grand a week. He's 32 years old. He will be 33 when the season finishes. That means he's still going to be playing at 35 years of age. I know people will say, if you got rid of him now, then you've got to go and buy someone, and they have to buy someone sooner or later. You are only kicking the can down the road. For me, with the fair play and everything, football changes. He has got unbelievable pace. He's an unbelievable player. But in 2 or 3 years' time, you can't get quicker. You just get older. And if you're Harry Kane, it's different. Harry Kane will play until he's 36, 37. This must be racism from Paul Merson or something like that. Because why do you mention Harry Kane, who is not as good as Salah, and say that he can play until 37. If Harry Kane can play until 37, then Salah can play until he's 40. Because Salah has better game intelligence, better passing than Harry Kane. He's as good a finisher, if not a better finisher than Harry Kane. And even when Salah slows down a little bit, his playmaking attributes and his vision, his passing range will still be immaculate. And he's actually getting better with age. He's aging like a fine wine. And Paul Merson is even arguing with himself, saying there is no sign of decline, is there? It might stay the same. It definitely won't get better. Surely it won't get better. I mean, he did get better. From last season, from 2 seasons ago, Salah's numbers are better than at any point in his Liverpool career, including his first record-breaking season when he scored 44 goals and broke the Premier League goal-scoring record. He has more goals and assists at this stage of the season than he had in his first season. Paul Merson said, I played my best football at this stage, from Aston Villa at 28 to 32. I played my best football, but in this game now it's a bit more of a younger man's sport. If you ain't got pace, it's very hard now. Unless you are a holding midfield player who is going to play as a number 6, who is going to dictate the game. Anywhere else over the pitch, you have to be electric. You have to be. And I don't see him being electric in 3 years' time. I don't think he has to be. He can still be slower, but with great passing, I think he can excel. And he can even play down the middle as a number 10. If his pace completely is gone, let's just put a hypothetical scenario up for a debate. Let's say Salah's pace completely goes. Then he can still play as a number 10. And we can, of course, buy a right winger who is fast. And Salah as the number 10, spraying balls around, is still a very, very good proposition. And Paul Merson said, how long can Salah keep doing that? You've got to remember as well, he plays ahead of Trent Alexander-Arnold. He has played ahead of Trent for 7 years. He's got to be one of the best passers of the ball we have seen in the Premier League, Trent, in my opinion. He ain't going to be there next season. How do you know? Paul Merson apparently knows more than anybody else that Trent Alexander-Arnold won't be there at Liverpool next season. How do you know? That's a big statement. And he asks who gives him the ball when he comes short and he spins. Who is going to put that ball over? Good point, because that pass that Trent Alexander-Arnold gave to Salah, I don't think anybody else in our team can make that pass. Maybe Van Dijk as well. But I think Conor Bradley is still, 21 years old. He's still very young and he is improving. And I'm not saying he can be the next Trent Alexander-Arnold, but we can have another brilliant right back at our disposal. Salah is one of the best in the world, Paul Merson said. But it's going to open up an absolute can of worms. It's another 2 years. I'm looking at the next year. I know we can say, let's just look for now. I know I'm a great believer, live in the now. No one appreciates that more than me. But it's alright living in the now and say, right, we will give you 400 grand a week, every week. But you are not. You are going to give him 400 grand for the next 150 weeks. And that's the problem. I didn't say that. I think I said I want Salah to get a 2-year contract. So that's another 100 weeks. Liverpool should have the option to extend Salah's contract with another year, similar to the Van Dijk deal. They are winning every week at the moment, Liverpool, so nothing's being said about Van Dijk, nothing being said about Trent, nothing being said about Salah. They lose 3 games in a row and everybody's going to be jumping all over them. Why aren't they signed? But at the end of the day, it's not their fault. People upstairs, I don't know what they have done. In football terms, it's criminal how 3 of the best players to play for Liverpool for a long time, their contracts are running out all at the same time. This last sentence I agree with Paul Merson, that it's criminal that Liverpool have let these 3 players' contracts run down. I think it's understandable in the case of Van Dijk and Salah because they are older players and Liverpool wanted to see how they are doing when they are 32, 33 years old. But in the case of Trent Alexander-Arnold, absolutely no excuses. We should have extended Trent's contract after 2023 season, not this summer, but last summer. And maybe because Liverpool finished in 5th place, we qualified for the Europa League, and Liverpool had their worst season on the Jurgen Klopp, probably. Maybe Liverpool felt it's not the best moment to extend Trent's contract. It's the past now. Now Liverpool absolutely have to do everything to give these 3 guys contracts that they will accept. So hopefully these contract talks will culminate in at least one announcement made before the January transfer window opens. And I'm really looking forward to Wednesday, where Newcastle will host Liverpool. That is going to be another incredibly tough game. So I don't think Liverpool are Premier League champions yet. There's still like more than 60% of the league season to go, but Liverpool are in one hell of a position. Nobody expected this, but now the expectation, the pressure will be on Liverpool, because everybody expects now Liverpool to win the Premier League title, and we have to live with that expectation. But at Liverpool, the expectation is always high, because the fans expect to win every week. So let's hope the players can handle the pressure like they have done so far. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.